Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a mid-season check-in with Slow Horses Season 5. I am your host, Mario Busto, alongside
the other host, Zachary Newton. Welcome back.
You guys missed us. We missed you. We are covering Season 5, Episode 2 through 4, I believe, and this one was titled Missiles. We're going to be kind of just talking through how the season's gone so far, first impressions, how it stacks up maybe against the other seasons, and kind of the conundrum that our beloved characters find themselves in. And speaking for myself, how's the polite way to put this? I was getting a little bit like I was in a blender. I felt like I was in the same formula of every other Slow Horses season up until the end of this episode, which is why when you called me or I called you after I finished watching it, you were like, "Oh, bro, how was it? How was it?" And I said, "I'm not telling you anything." He said, "Why won't you tell me?" "Oh, you haven't started watching it, have you?" I had, but there was no way I could say anything without somehow spoiling, because I'm big anti-spoiler, because even the tone of someone's voice when they're telling you something can spoil it. Like if I sound sad or annoyed or frustrated, it sucked. Or if I sound too happy, you're like, you're gonna be waiting for something, because you're gonna be like, Mario sounded too excited about this. Something has to happen for him to merit that sort of reaction, So I try not to say anything. I try not to even give a tone of voice. But yeah, that ending was crazy, and I have no idea now where we're going from here at this point. So
me neither. This season feels very different from a lot of the previous seasons, and it's definitely better than the last one. And I think this stacks up much nicer. I was not too into season 4 after like the first 2 episodes. This one's kept me hanging on, but man, I just cannot get over how annoying River Cartwright is in this season. That's probably like the one thing that's bumming me out about this season,
because he's been like a complete beta this season, like absolute. He's been wimpified in this season. Everybody turns him down, everybody makes fun of him, belittles him, and even in this episode, I anticipated it before it happened, but it's not really his fault. But I did write River's F up, and this season begins with River's F up with the whole airport disaster in the training session, right?
Well, the show begins that way.
Yeah, the whole series, and now this is a massive F up. I cannot wait to see Jackson Lamb's reaction to the fact that two of his slow horses were unintentionally responsible with Kimball being killed.
Yeah. It felt like watching Dumb and Dumber for a moment. I thought there was going to be like a split, second, like at the last minute there, where whatever was falling down like outside I thought it was going to like land on an assassin, and you were just going to hear somebody be like, "Ouch!" And we were going to be like, "Oh yeah, there was somebody trying to kill Kimball."
So I anticipated something as well. I didn't expect it to drop, though. I thought the way that window was open in the dressing room, I thought it was left open by whoever was trying to assassinate him.
Same.
And I thought it was going to be a bomb, based on us seeing bombs everywhere, in this episode. But yeah, do you suspect what I kind of want to hear your take, because I have my thoughts on what the hell the terrorists' end game here is with this plot. And but I want to hear your take, because I have a pretty defined take on what I think they're up to with all this.
I do not have a defined take, so I am very curious to hear yours. I felt like a lot of what Ko was saying was just where this was going to go. Like they're just trying to, go for complete chaos and disrupt everything. I mean, everything felt so grand. I mean, they were going to assassinate Mayor Jaffrey. So, like, it feels like everything that Ko has been saying has come to pass, or was about to come to pass. It was just interrupted in this episode specifically. So I don't know, beyond like maybe they just want to completely destroy the government officials and install their own people there. I don't know. I can't think beyond that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach doesn't do well with open-ended.
I don't. No.
He doesn't like to go out on a limb and be wrong ever about anything. So he can't dare give his honest take. But
well, I also haven't fantasized about political explosions and all this stuff. So I'm curious to know what.
it's not fascinating. It's not fantasizing. It's looking at the plot points and putting them together and saying, okay, what are they trying to get at? You did mention something. I don't know if you meant it or not, but you weren't far off from where my thoughts are with these specific cultural terrorists, which is pure chaos, right? That's the whole thing. That's like the obvious one, right? The step 1 through 5 thing that he was talking about. But breaking it down a little further, it seems like they're going after every sort of activist group that they consider to be a hot button issue, right? So like the terrorists speak Arabic, right? So they're Middle Eastern. Then you have the opening shooting is by a white guy who seems to be a white populist, white nationalist, right? Or something like that. So that they're creating violence, like white populist violence, right? So that's an agenda driven thing that they kind of game planned, right, to do. Then they assassinate him, right, to clean it up so that all the loose ends are not tied back to them. That's why they try to kill Roddy, because he's a dumbass who hacked into MI5 or whatever. Then the second thing is the gas tweaking with the petrol, which is Jaffrey's son. So they're disrupting Jaffrey's son, which is the climate activists.
Yeah.
They also blow up a penguin enclosure, which gets all the nature heads and all the climate activists and all the animal lovers up in arms, right?
Yeah.
And it's done by a homeless guy, which people don't like, some people are disrupted by homeless people, right? So that's another marginal group to get mad at. And then they're going to go, and I think they were going to kill Jaffrey. I never expect them to go kill Gimbal. I don't think Gimbal was ever on the plate to go take him out.
I don't think he was on the chopping block at all.
Because they wanted to pin Jaffrey's death on the rhetoric of Gimbal, right? So they're all in all, they're just trying to pin every single vector of society against each other, minus, I guess, their own minority, which is the Middle Eastern contingent in the UK, right? The Penguins threw me for a whirl. I still don't quite understand the Penguins thing. Although when they did talk about it in the parking garage, I didn't expect it to be actual people. For some reason, I thought it was going to be some twist like that based on the tone of their voices.
Yeah.
But yeah, any idea why the Penguins? That was the most random, almost like it was comedic to me, honestly. When they were like, I got hit by a fin. I found it a little comedic, just the thought of just the penguin enclosure.
I mean, I think Jackson Lamb was onto something. When everybody was in lockdown at Slough House, right? He was they were all talking about the fact that it was penguins, and it's like,
who would do that?
Who would do that? A monster would do that. Like the fact that we are all sitting here after Rue was almost killed, Ho was almost killed, and we're sitting here talking about penguins. Like that's the point. Like it's kind of throwing everybody off, distracting them from some of the other things that has happened. It seems like one of those emotional triggers. Like you're gonna get everybody, all the animal lovers, and it was all over the news. It was just all over the news. So I feel like Lamb was right about that. Just more so being, I feel like a distraction, trying to keep people disoriented.
Maybe. I still think the Penguins was too random. Like I thought it was symbolic in some way. I don't know why.
I don't think the Penguins.
I was just looking for some symbolism somewhere. No. Granted, it was in the media, but I don't know. It felt a little.
It felt random, rushed. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of felt like that was the intent. I don't think anybody was there. Just man, I freaking hate penguins.
No, of course, yeah. Were you? I was shocked that the kid was Jaffrey, the John Stamos lookalike kid.
Yeah.
I was surprised he was Jaffrey's son. I don't know if you were shocked by that as well.
I did not expect it at all, but man, it's very interesting how well they're making it seem like Gimbal is behind a lot of this stuff, but then the whole Jaffrey's son thing kind of threw me for a loop there. Like I just feel like they're just trying to take down the government, have everybody lose. Maybe where they're trying to go with this is to force everybody to lose trust in the current form of law.
I think that's what it is more
Yeah.
than anything. I just don't know. I think that's what it is. I just wonder what the end game is after that. Like once let's say they would have successfully assassinated Jaffrey,
Yeah.
right? And then it just leaves Gimbal to run, right? Like what
Which
is the
nobody
end
would
game
vote
after
for
that?
him though, because everybody would think he did it. He was behind it all.
No, they would blame one of his supporters, in some sense, right? It's a little bit too. I actually wonder. I mean, obviously, I don't have too much of a pulse on like UK politics, but
Me
I
neither,
wonder.
not at
I
all.
wonder how the majority of people would respond to this particular storyline based on some of the unrest that you see. Like they had like a massive protest or march like recently, I think it was. So I do wonder if they like these tropes in their media, because this is I believe it's a BBC show, or was it first? No, is this Apple TV through and through?
It's Apple TV, but I'm pretty sure it's based off of books.
Okay, interesting. So maybe it's before anything recently, because I don't know. I feel like you're starting to see a lot more of this theme of like the populist candidate, and then you have the more leftist candidate, right? Who goes kind of more towards, liberal agendas and whatnot. And you're starting to see that more and more in shows. Slow Horse's thing is kind of like MI6 is behind, MI5 is behind everything. Is it MI5 or MI6? MI5.
MI5.
Yeah.
Right?
The park. Let's just call him the park.
Yeah.
The park is behind everything at all times. So this show always makes me wonder how is Tavernier involved in almost everything here. I do wonder what's going to happen with Whelan here. He's a raging dumbass. There is that recording now that Ko has in his pocket, the recorder that has Whelan talking to this guy. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be on that recorder that they find. Yeah. So I do expect this is going to be Whelan's last season at the park in some sense of what's going to happen there. Maybe he becomes a suspect in the murder because the wife is still alive, right? And she has that publication. Yeah. And that blackmail situation just happened. So maybe she's going to suspect that it's Whelan. I think like the crap's going to hit the fan for Whelan personally.
Oh, I think the next episode, a lot of crap is going to hit the fan. I think she's going to, drop the bombshell report. And I think, she's going to stab his back and he's going to stab her. Like, I feel like this is all just going to come out. Like everything that we heard from this episode specifically with, her old boyfriend and
the Marxist
Gimble's parents and all of that stuff. Like
it won't end there either, because you have Jaffrey's bodyguard who was there, and that's on the recording as well. So there's a lot of stuff. I do wonder how Slough House is going to deal with it, though. I really do wonder, because they will be the prime suspects, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
As weird as that is, or maybe it's not. Maybe it'll just be a blip and they'll just pretend like it didn't happen almost, kind of almost Sopranos style. There's like a scene that takes place in Sopranos that's kind of similar to this, but...
You think Slough House will survive this season? To me, right now, it feels like Slough House is kind of on the out this season. Like
everything's gonna get pinned on them, like, as always, which feels like the common, trope between seasons, right? That it's gonna be Ko and Cartwright did it, rogue agents. Roddy hacked MI5. He gave this information to these terrorists, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't even think that information that he hacked into that they got is anything we've seen in the season so far. Like, I don't think that this is the grand finale for them. But I do wonder what the fallout's going to be of the failed assassination, for sure.
Yeah. I kind of feel like we're seeing Slough House on the way out. I did want to go back to, you made the comment of like, was this a BBC show? It is based off of a book series written by Mick Herron, who is British. So, I mean, it did originate from there. Mm-hmm. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they're okay with it. It seems like this guy's still writing books in the Slough House series. So that's interesting.
Interesting. I do wonder how many more seasons this will go, though, honestly. Because I thought this was going to be maybe second to last season, like, period.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested to see how they close it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good show. It's an interesting show. I don't know that they could keep this kind of thing going on for like 10 seasons. Like, I feel like
Can we talk about
6 is
Yeah,
probably good around
I
now.
agree. I thought 7 seasons like tops for this show was my number in my
I
head.
could see like yeah, like they could do what
Well,
is
we
it
need
that the
Sid
BBC
back.
always does? The BBC always does like 6 seasons and they close out on like a movie. It'd be interesting if they did
Yeah.
something like that.
We need I don't think it has a big enough fan base for a movie.
A long episode, like I mean, an hour or two. It's not that bad.
I want to see Sid back on the show, but that's just me.
Yeah, she's nice. I always remember her from Bates Motel.
Yeah. I remember her from House of the Dragon because I never watched Bates Hotel. I also saw her in something else recently that
You're right.
I'm forgetting what I saw her in, but let's talk about some ridiculous things in this episode that I found laughable.
Sure.
Okay? Your 2 top candidates have the most stupid, asinine security setup of all time. Gimbel's wandering an alleyway. There's not a single security member with him.
Yeah.
He's just in an alley. I found that stupid. Like in a rank of 1 to 10, I find that very stupid. It's just kind of one of those things where you roll your eyes at it, stupid.
Well, it was stupid in the alley, but I mean, even inside the facility, there was literally one security guy running around like a dumbass.
That was step 1 stupid, but you figured, okay, dressing room, they probably had that locked down. No, Cole, looking shady as ever. Like, he looks like a shooter. Okay, he looks like a guy who would shoot up a place. Okay,
yeah, he does.
Hoodie on and everything. Personally, I think that, he would have got his ass beat by somebody in there just by the way he looked, personally. Because, honestly, if I'm in there and I see a guy with a hoodie, I say, hey, buddy, what's up with the hoodie? Like, I would call attention to this guy, like, almost immediately.
When he was walking down the hall and that girl walked past
That
him,
girl
I
walked
thought
by.
that was going to turn into something.
Nobody's going to flag an alarm, creepy dude with a hoodie walking down,
Yeah.
Nothing against hoodies, but hoodies in a public setting, you're asking to be kind of looked at sideways, always.
Yeah, especially when you got the hood up. Like, that's the
hood
thing,
up.
you know?
Yeah. And Cole looks menacing. Anyways, found that stupid. Then Gimbel's in the alley. Jaffrey, okay, sir, let me see your bag. Nobody opens up the boxes. Nobody checks anything. There's no scanner. Okay, there's nothing to check packages coming in to see your top. I mean, a mayor of a city of London is like the mayor of New York. Like, it's essentially almost like a governor position. Okay, like it's a big ass role, right?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's important.
pretty important role. So I found that very dumb, personally. But
He got through very easily. And, Shirley threw me a bit in this episode,
that'll
too,
be the
because
next thing. Yeah, that'll be.
She always, I mean, she like leans into her intuition so hard. And she did very hard at the beginning of the season. But then we get to this episode and she's like, no, it's just some sketchy guy. He's just here to change the light bulb. Like, what?
Yeah, it's
You
well
didn't
they
think twice
needed
about it.
they needed Standish to have a reason to be there. I think that was the main.
Yeah.
Because if Standish is not there, she immediately goes with her intuition. But because Standish is there, they gotta give her a reason to be there, right?
Yeah.
Granted, Standish could have said, "Hey, shooter from the roof." She could have said that.
Yeah, no, she didn't have to throw a bottle at him. And,
What's your issue with, what was the thing she said? What's your issue with transport or something like that? I don't
something like that. It was,
know.
wasn't important enough.
Yeah, I was just
Nobody even got that irritated. They're just like, why'd you throw water at me?
Okay, one of the other dumb things I generally find, this is coming from an American perspective, okay?
Mm-hmm.
These are your top spies and agents in the UK, and everybody's asking everybody for a gun. Everybody's like, hey, can I borrow your gun? Hey, can I borrow your gun? These are like the James Bond equivalent in the UK. All right, they're hunting down terrorists across the city. Meanwhile, the terrorists are moving around the city with snipers and fully automatic assault rifles and all sorts of, weapons, right? And then meanwhile, you got
weaponry, yeah.
River Cartwright and these guys trying to fish guns out of toilets. They're treating guns like, I don't know, like an umbrella. Like, hey, can I borrow an umbrella? Like, it's crazy to me.
It is very stupid, but it is mostly Slough House that is, absent any weaponry right now, right? Like the whole park that they don't have weapons. They've got plenty of weapons. It's just the discarded rejects that don't have any weapons. Which,
Yeah, good point.
I mean, we could argue might be a good thing. I mean, they did kill a guy kind of in cold blood at the end of the last season.
Deserved though.
It deserved, at least, yes.
That guy
But they
had finished
still did
killing
it.
like several people.
I know, but but it's one thing to just like, I don't know, shoot somebody, wow, or like immediately after they do that and you get the drop on them. It's another thing to like have them cuffed and then just randomly be like, all right, fuck you, you're dead. That's a little more intense.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I find that hilarious. The fact that you're sending 4 agents out to go apprehend an assassin without a weapon, which leads me to my next thing that I find funny. Shirley has 1 million lives. She has spent this whole show getting beat down by guys and letting them run away. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, if she didn't have plot armor, she would be dead. That big dude who she was fighting in the skate park earlier in this season would have been good game right there. Okay? But no, she survives 1 million times, which brings me to the point of like, give this girl a weapon. How does River have 2 guns and doesn't give her one?
She needs an equalizing factor, that's for sure. Because it doesn't seem like I'm sure she has some fighting skills, sure, but she doesn't seem.
We're just talking about pure.
Like you would expect with like
going up against a brute force. It's just like she can't. She's
but
little.
That's how she attacks it. Right? Like she doesn't seem to attack it methodically, like
because it's a show.
If you trained in jujitsu or karate or whatever,
no.
Like I don't see a lot of that sort of control. She looks like she acts like a dude that's just buff and thinks he's gonna win because he's got muscle, and
Which
she
is
just
funny.
doesn't.
Yeah. Which, granted, she's probably, of the rejects that are in Slough House right now, she's probably the most, her intuition about things is probably the best. Rivers, like, really surprised me with how bad he is this season. Everything is just kind of a joke to him.
Yeah. He's got, like, such a victim mentality. I mean, he's always kind of had, like, a little woe is me mentality, but, like, man, it's on steroids this season.
Yeah. I think he'll turn it around, though, at some point, if I had to guess.
I would say Shirley's a number 2, though. Jackson Lamb's number 1.
Of course. No, nobody surpassed Jackson Lamb. Nobody at all. He's the best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cole, I'm glad Cole has stepped up into a more prominent place in this episode particularly.
Yeah, he's an assassin of political figures. Yeah.
He's the what?
He's the assassin of political figures.
It is funny that the one episode he does step up, he inadvertently kills somebody because he has his headphones in his ears. Right?
I don't.
Because remember,
I don't know. He just seems stupid about it.
No, he's coming down the stairs, the ladder, my bad, and you can hear it. Obviously, we hear it as the audience, the thing swinging down behind him, and he kind of looks like, and he just keeps on going down because he can't hear it because he's listening to his podcast. Maybe he's listening to Story Archives.
He should be. He probably is.
Yeah.
And you know what else? You should be too. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, go hit that subscribe button now. Just don't drop any paint cans on people's heads.
I toss it to you the way Jackson Lamb set up the lighter and the aerosol spray can in this episode.
You're listening. Thank God. You guys listened for once. Yeah.
By the way,
that story.
I do believe that he was not lying about that story. I think that was a true story, actually.
Yeah. I get a sense that a lot of the touchy-feely stuff from Lamb is actually something real and personal to him.
I think he's the guy in the story.
He plays in it so well. Yeah, probably. Like that's what I thought went after the fact. After he went through everything, said everything in the story, I was like, that felt so personal. I felt like it was like he was the main character in that story. Which
leads me to what we've been talking about, which is a Lamb standalone prequel series would be fire. You would need the right actor for it, 100%, but it would be incredible if we got that. I dare say I'd be more interested in that than the remaining seasons of Slow Horses, but
it would be. But the character's also built up a bit, really. So it's got that going for it.
It'll be tough though because we want like Gary Oldman level performance.
Sir Gary Oldman level.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. No offense, Sir Gary Oldman, who's also a fellow Manchester United fan, and said that he would prefer to see Manchester United win the treble again rather than win an Oscar, which is. That is music to my ears.
Interesting.
It literally made me like his biggest fan when I heard him say that.
Are they playing this Sunday? Is that who you said was playing?
Yeah, they're playing Liverpool. at 11:30.
All right.
So you got to go to the pub and split the G.
Hell yeah. I was so close. I was so close to splitting the G this time. I was like a half a sip off.
I feel like you would gravitate towards being more of a United fan than a Liverpool fan, but I could be proven wrong. You might just lean towards the better team at this moment, but yeah, we'll see. It's actually a fun fact about slow horses that came to my attention earlier this week. I was, I have this sort of thing that I do when I'm watching films and TV shows. If an actor stands out to me, I will take note of their name, as someone who would be awesome to potentially work with in the future. And there was one actor who got my attention years ago on Fear of the Walking Dead, like the first episode. It was Frank Delane, who you probably didn't watch that show, Zach, but you would also recognize him as, I believe he played young Voldemort in those flashbacks in the fifth Harry Potter, when Dumbledore goes to the orphanage.
Interesting.
Do you remember that scene where he goes to the orphanage and Tom Riddle lights the wardrobe on fire? Mm-hmm. So that's Frank Delane, and he kind of was. I thought he was going to go on his way towards superstardom after I saw him in Fear the Walking Dead, because it was such a great, charismatic performance. He stole every scene he was in. I had never heard of the guy, and then he kind of fell off the map. In terms of like the roles he was taking, I didn't see him in anything super mainstream after that. In fact, I don't really know much of what he did after that. He kind of just fell off for a few years after that show. I think he's an actor's actor, so he comes from like the playhouses, and like he comes from a line of actors. Do you want to guess who his father is, if you haven't already guessed it by the Googling you did already?
I don't know. I didn't get that far. I was just looking at some of the movies he's been in.
Let me give you some hints about who his father is. His father once made a claim that he was the true king.
Bro. I don't know.
And made some deals with certain nefarious people who really like light. They really like the light.
Are you talking like in real life, or are you talking about like in another movie?
No. On a series that you've watched.
Oh, you're talking to Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name. Who?
Do you know the last name of the first king before? Actually, no, the last name of the kings when we start the series.
Baratheon?
Uh-huh.
Stannis?
His dad is Stannis Baratheon, and you know who his mom is?
No, I don't even know if I could begin to guess that.
His mom is Molly from Slow Horses, who plays the wheelchair-bound smart-ass woman who's in the basement of the park.
Yeah. Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think that's her. Let me look it up real quick.
That's interesting.
So
Naomi Werther. Yeah, Molly Durant. Yeah, you're right.
Molly Duran. Let me see. Duran's son.
Yeah, it's him.
Molly
Frank
Duran.
Delane.
Yeah. Oh no, her name in the show is Molly Duran. Her real name is Naomi Werther.
Correct. Yeah.
Werther sons. Frank Delane. Yep. And so he's going to be in a movie called Urchin coming out. It just won some awards in the Cannes Film Festival, and I believe it did actually. And I think you'll start to see him a bit more if he doesn't get sick of the stardom again and do that. So, and he was also in a show on Apple TV called Serpent of Essex. I don't know if you remember that show.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I didn't get too far into that show. You told me it was good though.
Yeah, that show's one of the best on Apple TV. He plays the doctor, who is the love interest of the woman on there.
Okay.
So I was actually happy to see him on that show. So I'm very glad. I got to go see that movie Urchin when I get the chance. Though I think it's going to be like a very limited debut. Anyway, that's the rabbit hole of this particular episode. That is very Mario specific, but
yeah.
Hey, that's what we do.
The rabbit holes are fun.
Yep.
Is Urchin out already, or is it coming out?
No.
I'll look it up. I'll add it to my research list.
Yeah.
My ever-growing research list.
It's the directorial debut of what's this guy's name? Harris Dickinson. What's his name? Harris Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been in a few different things. He was in that Triangle of Sadness movie. He was in The Iron Claw, Where the Crawdads Sing. He was in that movie where he's like it's like 50 Shades of Grey, I guess, with Nicole Kidman, Baby Girl. Kind of something like that. But yeah, I think he'll also be a prominent actor for years to come as well. So interesting, because you wonder, there's a lot of the leading men of the last two generations, or the last generation really, are gonna have to pass the torch at some point, right? Like the DiCaprios, the Pitts, those guys are, they're gonna pass the torch to the Chalamets, and it can't just be Chalamet. And as it is, it's kind of like they're really pushing Chalamet wherever they can. And I think Chalamet's a cool dude, super chill, good actor, but you got to have some more. You got to have some like other A-listers that kind of join that.
Variety.
Yeah, I think Robert Pattinson's another A-lister at the moment, but he kind of fits that slot of the more. I guess he is Batman, so he does do the mainstream
Yeah, I
roles,
do like him. He's does a good Batman.
I've been wanting to rewatch. I've been wanting to rewatch the Batman for a little bit now.
It's funny that you say that. You mean the Robert Pattinson one, or you're just talking about in general?
Yeah.
I just got my wife started watching Batman, and like 4 days ago we watched the Batman from like, what is it, 1989?
Are you going roll back?
Yeah, we went all the way back. I'm spacing on everybody's name right now. It was directed by Tim Burton. Michael Keaton plays Batman in that. It's with Joker with Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
So we just watched that. So she watched that. Man, it does not hold up.
I bet. I'm not interested.
Cringy.
This is maybe a bad take, but I'm not interested in the old Batmans at all. I've never been. I saw the ones with like Iceman and Poison Ivy.
Freeze with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was good, with Bane, Poison Ivy.
Bane?
It's nostalgic for me. What'd you say?
Bane. Did you say Bane?
Yeah.
Is in that one with Ice?
Bane is in the one with Poison Ivy and Freeze.
I don't remember that. I was too young. I was too little.
That's the one with Chris O'Donnell as Robin. That's got God,
I was so corny.
George Clooney is Batman in that one.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic for me. I watched those as a kid growing up, literally all the time when I was at my grandmother's. So I like it for that reason. But we just started Batman Begins, so I'm taking her through.
Oh yeah, so she's getting to the good ones now.
Yeah, so we skipped
the
other two Tim Burton ones, and then the one with Freeze. We skipped all of those. We went straight to
the Nolans.
Batman Begins with the Nolans one. I'm like, all right, because she was she's crapping all over it because it's corny, it's old or whatever.
Does she like dark stuff?
She's getting into the new one. Not really.
So she's not gonna like the Robert Pattinson Batman at all. She will not.
I don't think she'll like that one as much.
Yeah.
I think she's getting kind of into.
Batman,
I don't want to speak for her.
Batman Begins will probably be her favorite. Probably.
We're halfway through that one now, so we were gonna finish the second half tonight, but we're gonna do it tomorrow night.
I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't like The Dark Knight. Like if she gets creeped out by the Joker.
So her favorite part of the 1989 Batman was Jack Nicholson's Joker.
But it's more of a comical Joker.
It is very comical, yeah. But man, Heath Ledger is just so good. We're getting off topic though, but
that's fine. I mean, look, man, we're not talking about a sci-fi show here. It's the reason why we're doing a mid-season update. It's because it's not that it's difficult to talk about these shows, but do you guys really want us to pop on here for 15 minutes and talk about Slow Horses? Maybe you do, but it's, I feel like it's a disservice to the audience to do anything less than a 30-minute episode whenever we can. Maybe my solo episodes might run a little shorter, which we are going to be dropping one, this rom-com movie that I talked about over the summer that slipped through the cracks for certain post-production.
Cracks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that, but it's kind of suggestive. But no, it slipped through. Yeah, I was going to say it slipped through both our cracks. That sounds really bad.
I know.
That sounds really bad.
That's where my head was going, and I was like, I can't say both.
Yeah, no. I forgot about it. I forgot that I recorded it. Then you forgot that you didn't edit it. I forgot
to edit it, yeah.
Then I forgot that you didn't edit it. And then we were reminded by one of our beloved fans out there in the audience that we never launched that episode that I teased about a month and a half ago. And then I was like, wait a minute.
One time, mind you. One
I was like, wait a minute. Did Zach not do this? And I sure went back and I was like, yeah, didn't go up. Recorded that shit for nothing.
It's on its way. It's on its way. It's the perfect thing to listen to while we wait for the next really, really killer science fiction show.
Yeah, we're actually thinking of, like, we've been game playing. Our absence has not been without without progress. We've been game planning different ways to kind of just bring more entertainment to the channel for you guys, and maybe make a little bit more evergreen content that's not just show related. If you have ideas of what type of content you'd like to see, feel free to email us at contact@soapbox.house and whatnot. But or comment on YouTube, and make sure to sub on YouTube. We're really trying to hit 1,000 subs and scale the channel a little bit more. So anyways, back to slow horses, or slough horses, if we like to call Slough House. I think the funny thing that will happen in this series is that everyone's making fun of Roddy and dogging him.
Yeah.
But Tara actually loves Roddy. I think she's genuinely in love with Roddy, and she's going to end up with him. Yeah, 100%. I think that's what's just going to happen. And she's really pretty, bro. I was like, I got a really good look at her, like, in her apartment in this episode. And she's like one of those natural pretties, you know, doesn't have to do too much. So I think Roddy is actually going to be the one who laughs last. One of my predictions. If you want to bet on it right now, we can, because I would be really comfortable with this wager.
All right. So what's the wager?
Roddy actually ends up with Tara at the end of this episode. I mean, end of this season. Like, she actually loves him. She actually loves him. She didn't love him at first. She fell in love with him. They get
but the premise of your bet is that they end up together at the end of the season, right?
I don't know if they end up forever together, because I think Shirley.
Well, through the end of the season, by the end of the season, they end up together. Define that a little more, I guess.
I don't know, man. She just loves him. That's all I'm saying. She actually has feelings for him. It's not fake. That's my bet. You don't think that?
I agree that she has feelings for. I would take odds on them, you know, ending up or not ending up together, or whatever.
That's not fair. You're switching up on me. You literally didn't believe that she was into him like 2 seconds ago.
I didn't say anything 2 seconds ago.
Unreal.
I thought you were saying they would end up together. I don't know that they're going to end up together. Like, I don't think they're walking off into the sunset together.
No, I don't think
I do think that you are right, though, and that she does have feelings for him, because I do think she's manipulated. I don't think she is, you know, the bad guy here.
I think he ends up with Shirley eventually, possibly. Could be wrong. Yeah,
really?
I could see it. She literally admits to being attracted to him earlier in the season. Yeah. She's looking at him on the dance floor. She's like, I could see it. So she has something for Ho. She got something for the Ho-meister. for the true king of Gondor. Yo, he's funny. He's definitely. He's like that character who, if you killed him off, the show wouldn't be the same. Like, you just can't kill him off.
Yeah, I agree. But I also feel like this has got to be the end of his career at Slough House. Like, even though he's very skilled, bro, you hacked into the freaking database and exposed that to people who were trying to, you know, do malicious things with that information.
Yeah, I would say so too. If I hadn't seen the first 4 seasons of Slow Horses, where Park is behind almost every F up that is occurring in the city. So if we're gonna go by that standard, Tavernier should be out of a job like 3 decades ago. So,
yeah.
Anyways, are we taking the bet or not?
Sure. I'll take odds on it. I'll give you.
This will be a light bet. Nothing crazy. Yeah. Next time I see you,
just a bottle of
first Guinness. First Guinness is on the person who lost that particular bet. That's
cool. That's
all
cool.
Right. That's a bet that we both win. That's a bet we both win.
Yeah. It is. You got to come up here though, like this.
I really want
season
to.
At least.
I don't want to say I will to anything, but I really want to before the end of the year. I really do, for sure. So
cool.
We'll see.
All right. So we're gonna say Tara really loves Ho.
Yeah.
That's our shortest bet ever.
Ro loves Ho. Okay, so I talked about almost all my notes here. I did mention that I felt like when I was watching Shirley run after the 17th man that has beaten her down in this series, and he was getting away. Okay.
And runs away when he's winning too, by the way.
Runs away when he's winning, yes.
Yeah.
He could have knocked her unconscious, walked, and then just walked away, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was watching that occur, I was like, I'm really getting tired of these TV shows. I'm getting really tired of these TV shows that have a storyline, that have a good thing going, and they are dragging this crap just so that it can hit 10 episodes. I'm really getting tired of it. And then they hit us with the plot twist of killing Gimbal. And then I was like, all right, I'll give them that. They led it to something that I wasn't expecting. It still doesn't make it any less unbelievable to me that this guy got away like that. It doesn't make it any less unbelievable. However, granted, you can account for it in the story. I'm not saying that the story didn't account for it. Park didn't take the tip seriously. Devin, the nose-ringed agent, who I laughed so hard when Lamb said I left the seat up for you.
That was good.
I was laughing so hard at that. But she doesn't take it seriously, right? So you can account for it. There's going to be somebody in the comments, or maybe there won't be, who'll be like, hey, it's not a plot hole. I'm not saying it's a plot hole. I'm just saying it's dumb. So
mic drop.
I don't like when shows do that. I like when a show just, if your show is a 4-episode, if you have the substance for 4 punch you in the face good episodes, do 4 episodes. Don't do 8. You know, what did we just watch recently? Or what did I just watch recently that I was like, this was good, but it could have been like 2 episodes shorter. Black Rabbit on Netflix. Show was good. Maybe I should do a solo treatment of that, although I have forgotten almost everything about it at this point. It's like Ozark's step cousin. That show was good, but it was like 2 episodes too long. The pacing took forever. I didn't believe the backstory. It took a lot to have I don't want to spoil the show, but it took a lot and didn't satisfy me in that way. But maybe it's because I feel like I'm a TV show connoisseur, and so I can say these things. I can say these things.
I mean that's why people are listening, right? It's for the opinions like this, and I completely agree with you. Though it bugs me more, it irritates me a hell of a lot more when it's at the level of a season, and it's just like, dude, you should have stopped this at 4 seasons. Don't freaking milk it, because you know when something's being milked, and it's not good.
Case in point, House of Guinness.
Sucks. I literally have not even got to the 2nd episode, so don't say too much there.
Okay, my bad. Other people I'm sorry, guys, that I said that. I know I'm the Mr. Anti-Spoiler guy. I should have at least given a notice about the 2 comments I just made. So,
well, I have
that's the closest you're ever going to get from closest you're ever going to get to a public apology from me on the show.
Well, this is public, so
yeah, true.
I guess that works out.
Yeah.
When
you do finish House of Guinness, man, there's a lot of crap I could say about House of Guinness.
We should do like a recap, maybe.
It's not historically accurate, or if it is, they really...
I heard it was loosely based. Loosely.
Boy.
Emphasis on the loose. And the lee.
I wonder how the Guinnesses feel about the portrayal about Arthur Guinness, because they really stretched something that's not proven by history. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to ruin the show, but they really made it like... I don't know what it is. Like, does every history show have to be sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Or can we just have good drama? Like, drama in and of itself. There are some aspects of House of Guinness that I found really good. Everybody, from what I've read from Ireland, says it's the most historically inaccurate thing ever. Not just saying the storyline that I was talking about right before, but about some of the other stuff with the IRA and the Fenians, which will remind you of Peaky Blinders universe. All those various things going on. And I thought it was going to be a miniseries. I didn't think they were going to try to stretch it. But
really? I thought that the moment I heard that was coming out, I figured it would be just as long as the Peaky Blinders, probably like 6 seasons or so.
I'll tell you this. To me, it doesn't have the legs for it. I could be wrong. I personally don't see it. In fact, I watched it and said, I don't know if I prefer this over a fictional, because every episode said this is based on real events and a fictional everything. It was pretty much like, this is a fictional retelling. If that's the case, then make a fictional brewery or make a fictional something, because then you can really go crazy with it without having to pay any mind to history at all. Unless you want to do the Tarantino thing and machine gun Hitler in the movie theater, you know?
Well, I'll let you know when I finish watching it. Apparently, I guess we're in the after show. Are we in the after show now?
Yeah, we're in the after show.
Okay. I finished Chief of War. It was funny because I mentioned on a previous podcast episode, I'm like, yeah, I've got one more episode left. I didn't even realize I had watched the finale.
Oh shit.
So I was like literally over the weekend, I was like, I guess I'll watch the last episode. And I'm like, wait, what? I watched it already? And it was a 9-episode season. It was good. Like it wasn't bad. I don't know who was smoking what when they're like, this is Game of Thrones level. And that was like one of the big, the big review statements that they had about the show. And I'm like, it's an okay show.
Anyone who says that should be smacked in the face.
I mean, maybe it's a Game of Thrones the last 2 seasons kind of show, but it wasn't what we know it for. What we know Game of Thrones to be. It was not at
Game of Thrones. I'm not saying that lightly. Game of Thrones was appointment television. Zach, you got the pleasure of watching it and being able to binge through it.
And oh my God, did I?
I had the pain of watching it live, week to week for years. Okay, years. And you feel the pain a little bit because of House of Dragons. Like you feel how long that feels to go Sunday to Sunday with House of Dragons.
Very
right?
long, yeah.
Game of Thrones was even better.
Year or 2 in between, yeah.
Imagine that, but like peak when Game of Thrones was really good.
It was good. It was good season 1. like that. Like I've not been so hooked into a show so early before. Like it was.
Listen,
solid.
man. I think that everyone's a little bit too loose with giving like this is the Game of Thrones of the indigenous, natives of Hawaii. Like. Okay, yeah, bro. Then Game of Thrones. This is Harry Potter's the Game of Thrones of the children's wizarding world. Like I don't know. I guess we could say that to everything. And Peaky Blinders is the Game of Thrones. Is post World War I gangs in Birmingham. Like if we can really,
if we're gonna go that niche on it, yeah,
we can really stretch it. But yeah, hell no. Not even Foundation, and I like Foundation a lot. Foundation's not even close to Game of Thrones. Like
it's not. The writing of Game of Thrones is phenomenal. It's great, and it was made so well. It really was.
Listen, dude, there's like maybe 5. I don't even know if I can name 5 shows that I've ever been like. Every week is like I cannot like I gotta be in that chair, and it's like a communal thing, and there's other people there, and like Game of Thrones was the only one like it. Breaking Bad, Mad Men, those 3 are like the big 3 for me. Personally,
yeah.
Walking Dead at one point was like that prior to
the first like 2 seasons, yeah.
And I thought the second season was crap, aside from the last episode, the showdown between Rick and Shane. The first season though was peak Walking Dead. I thought great. By the time we got to the governor, good actor. Just saw him in a movie right now with Keira Knightley that's trending on Netflix. The Woman in Cabin 10, decent movie, not the best but decent. And I thought he was a good villain. I thought every season after that was garbage. There was moments, but just stretched out garbaggio. So yeah, very few. And I watched that with my family every Sunday, Walking Dead. My mom loved Walking Dead.
My family liked it, and like believe they're not the kind of people.
Yeah, my mom is not the person who would. I don't know. My mom really liked the zombie stuff, bro. She was like really into it, which is super funny, so cute.
That's hilarious.
But nah, man, I don't. No, there's nothing. There's some stuff on Apple that came out. There's a lot of good shows coming out, but
I've been told The Last Frontier on Apple is really good.
It's a show, yeah.
I might give it a watch. I've been hearing from a lot of people I know that they're like, oh yeah, I'm watching Invasion, and I'm like the first season, but they're like just getting into it, and they're like, yeah, I'm on the second season. I'm like, the second season sucks. Fun. I'm sorry, but
have fun. I haven't even started the 3rd season.
I started it. And
first season was peak. First season was peak.
It's sad. You know what? Every time I watch Invasion, I'm saddened by the show because I'm like, it had potential. I'll say it had potential.
It really did. It had everything. It had everything.
Yeah, it went not good.
That's what it feels like when you watch a really great show. Like, I think Task has been the best show I've watched on TV in the last month. It's on HBO.
Yeah.
Has Tom Pelphrey, who you've seen him in some things. But the next show on my list is probably Alice in Borderland season 3 on Netflix. That's probably going to be the next thing I watch. There's a lot of stuff that's come out. There's a movie that came out on Apple I want to watch. I'll check out The Last Frontier. That caught my attention a little bit.
Seems interesting.
I feel like it's in the hijack territory. They postponed Savant. I don't think they launched Savant, and I think they didn't do it because of the current events, and they aligned with certain things that happened, and they didn't want to push it out at the same time. I don't know that for a fact, so I'm not going to state it as a fact right now. But I heard that was postponed.
Oh, shit. It's been postponed indefinitely?
That is very interesting.
Was it being canceled?
Why? Can you ask it why it was postponed?
I'll try. Let me see. Why was it postponed? The release, blah, blah, blah,
Okay.
Following the assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I heard the same exact thing, so we can say it.
Is it canceled?
Okay, so obviously the storyline of that series is going to ruffle some feathers. Maybe they're trying to push some agendas in certain directions.
Yeah.
And it obviously was going to ruffle feathers of people who were upset. I was very upset, and still am, of the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And obviously that was going to be triggering for people, and maybe it was going to be lean in some bad directions. That's the only thing I could think, that it was going to lean into some bad directions. Because if you think about it, Slow Horses opens up with a freaking mass shooting, okay?
Yeah, it does.
And that is some dark crap to put, especially nowadays, it's really dark, So I know Jessica Chastain was not happy about it being postponed, but I wonder if they're ever going to show it. I think they're going to still show it. I think they'll still put it, but they'll do it in 2026.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff, man. Like, I've been hearing, like, for example, that movie with DiCaprio now, One Battle After Another. I want to go watch it because it's Paul Thomas Anderson. And I like to watch most DiCaprio films, but they're saying that is, like, straight up, like, agenda-driven, like, freaking Antifa type propaganda, which makes you wonder. Like, they gave it, like, a 98, 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, So you're like, okay. We're going to see. I'm going to go. I think some people have really, really bad takes and, like, make the most out of, like, small things.
Yeah.
For example, like,
it's got pretty bad audience reviews, by the way. It's at like a 3.
One Battle After Another?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm literally looking at if the Google, what is this on?
3.1.
I don't know where they're pulling the data from, but 3.1 out of 4,882 reviews. It's almost split perfectly even from 5s and just pure 1s. There's nobody in 2, 3, and 4.
It has a good popcorn meter on Rotten Tomatoes. It's probably a good movie. It just, I heard that there were some undertones that they were really trying to drive. I got to go make my own opinion. That's just how I am. I got to make my own opinions. But
I don't even think I've seen the trailer for it.
I have. I mean, it looks good. Like, I just haven't had the chance to go to the movies, but there's a lot of stuff in movies right now that has caught my attention. But the trailer is the type that you can't really gather what's from it. But some people really just fly off the handle on certain things. Like, look, man, certain movies, it's an art form, so it's going to make you feel things. Like, I saw a movie with Cillian Murphy recently called Steve. Okay, it's on Netflix. I think it's a very thought-provoking movie, right? The whole premise is about, these kids who have, like, really, really troubled upbringings, who maybe had a little bit of criminal past, abused by their parents, like, really dark themes there. And these are true things, like, I have family members who worked with, with children who had a really rough upbringings. And the whole premise of the movie is that this is a school. It's like an experimental type of boarding school to rehabilitate these kids into, like, functioning members of society. And the whole premise is that the funding's going to get cut. And so Cillian Murphy is a very, like, troubled figure in this movie. And that movie makes you feel things, like, in a very strong, hit you in the face type of way. Like, movies are supposed to make you feel something and make you, whether you agree with it or not. Like, it can be controversial. I think that if a movie is effective in doing it, you don't have to necessarily like the message, but you can't deny that it was effective in delivering whatever message it was trying to do,
100%.
So,
yeah, it is a very strong medium, honestly.
that's the reason I got into it. I think it's the most powerful. Like, I think storytelling is the number one way to captivate people and to impact someone. It's storytelling through whatever form you want. For me, I think moving picture. I honestly think, personally, film and television is like maybe top of the list in terms of being able to do that for me personally. I also think video games are very high up there because you are actively partaking in the story developing. I think music can transport you to a place as well, but something about seeing and experiencing and putting yourself in someone else's shoes can only be done through that medium. So but there's so many good movies out right now that I really want to go watch. So Smashing Machine might be top of my list right now, but I also want to see one battle after another before it leaves the theaters, man. So we'll see.
Smashing Machine. I've not heard of Smashing Machine either. I'm looking forward to the next. What was it? 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Oh, me too. Isn't that in January though?
That. Yeah, I think it comes out. It's either at the very end of the year or the very beginning of next year.
Cillian Murphy's in that.
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
I think. Was he the money guy for that one? I don't remember what his role was in the most recent one. I know he wasn't acting in it, but I think he had some hand in it coming back.
Dude, I am hungry again.
Wow.
I'm hungry. I want some potato chips. I think that this medium has been like just such a... I was just listening today that Netflix is now going to have podcasts on there, like video podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to launch it in 2026. And I think it's like so important now. Like, I think podcasts are such a defining thing. They had an estimate of what this particular industry is going to be worth in a few years, and it was like mind-boggling money, just mind-boggling. It'd be great if a little bit came our way, Story Archives, but
just a little bit. We'll have to start posting some videos there again.
But I think in this day and age where like everything is just, there's such a saturation of content out there, and you don't know what to watch. You gotta just be, if you're a content creator, you gotta be just as transparent as possible about who you are, what you believe, and like you're gonna resonate with your audience, and you're gonna find them. You're not doing it for the likes. Like, I think the biggest mistake would be, even for this podcast, I know we haven't really talked about this off air, but like, to do stuff for likes. Like, if we just make content for likes with people who we know aren't gonna vibe with us, that would be the biggest mistake in the world, because they'll cancel us the first moment they get. The first moment I say something from a Christian perspective or from any sort of perspective politically, like, we're cooked, because we started to fake something that we weren't, whereas like, if we're just ourselves as people who, good people, respect all things, but we're just unapologetically ourselves, and that's the best thing I think you can do with content, and allows you to dive into other topics. Like, I know I would personally like to do. I don't only want to talk about film and TV necessarily. I don't know if I'd do that on this channel or not, but I'd love to do some React stuff and just some social commentary, even some like video essays or content about like my work and stuff like that. But I was just thinking about that. I was listening to like a Casey Neistat speech, and he was just like, you got to be you and like F the likes and whatnot. And you got to like kind of just really drive that home.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that is just because of what do you always call it? Captain-led brands, right? So, people a lot of times are tuning in for a person, for a persona, because that person will go places. So, like, they might move around. If you work at company A, they might move to company B, but like, you're likely to shift to like, well, I prefer company B now, because you really bought into that person and their mindset, what they like. And you respect their opinion. That's great. Like, that's good. I think that's.
I will always just have respect for, even if I disagree with a person,
Yeah.
I will always have more respect for somebody who just sticks by their guns,
Yeah.
sticks to their actual morals, their principles.
It's hard to trust them if they don't.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't know until I mean, you can kind of see through BS and like kind of like if your gut feeling about a person is good, you can kind of like gauge it in some way. But you know, if I prefer someone, man, even if they could be the furthest extreme away from me in some sense, as long as they're respectful, like you might get along with that person better than somebody who agrees with everything you say. Like I just think that this world we live in is so, divided in some sense that people got to understand that like a difference in thought does not mean a difference in, character or a difference in being able to get along with someone. So that's why I think like every creator just got to freaking drive home, the boat, whether you like, just depends who it is. Like I think, for example, somebody who I respect because he sticks to his guns, but I think like his takes are horrible, like Mark Cuban. I really think like, but I respect him because he says he's just consistently, I mean, he'll be deleting his tweets and saying stuff like it, but he usually sticks to his crap, Yeah.
For sure. It's not about being likable, or what was it? You used a word there. It's not that you're trying to get people to just, like you. It's about being true. I think that's more important than just being like agreeable. Agreeable is not good.
Maybe that's just how I am. I've always preferred to have like a few very good friends than to have like 50 shallow friends in some sense. So
yeah,
I'm not like I don't like cliques. I don't like any of that crap. Just like no.
The heck is Roof Man?
Huh?
What is Roof Man?
I don't know what you're looking at.
Channing Tatum. It's a movie that's out right now, I guess.
Is that the one that he lives in the roof of the Toy Story?
Oh, yes, that's what it is.
It's not Toy Story, Toys R Us.
Yeah, Toys R Us, yeah.
I actually really wanted to watch that. I think that's Edgar Wright.
It's funny.
Isn't that Edgar Wright? Who directed that?
It's Derek Cianfrance.
Oh, Derek Cianfrance. Dude, that's like one of my favorite directors. He did Place Beyond the Pines. That's like one of my favorite movies ever. I rewatched it recently. Oh, yeah, it's like my favorite movie. Maybe not my favorite. I'm not going to say that. It impacted me very, very much, that movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
When did that come out? 2013. Wow.
Yeah, that one.
I just thought
that was a milestone one for me.
And I was like, damn, I forgot about that movie. That's good. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I think it's about time to go get some potato chips. Remind everybody to hit that subscribe button.
Well.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
All right, guys. We'll see you. I don't know if we're going to do Slow Horses next week or not, but we might do like a season wrap up. Well, depends how eventful the next episode is. So
yeah, we don't know after the way this one ended.
Yeah. So, all right. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Peace.